Hey everybody, it's ODAWA from My Gaming Addiction. I want to show you guys this new base here. It's 24 rockets of protection. It costs only 148 HQM. As you guys can see, down in the basement, there's loads of storage and your TC is protected by the ODAWA roof bunker system. So let's head on down there, past 8 rockets of airlock. We have a lot of garage doors you can set up here, some lockers ready to go and defend your raid. Then down in the basement, you have your bedroom. Small furnaces, small refinery, and then, of course, the ODAWA roof bunker system. Your TC is even protected behind doors, and you have 3 large wooden boxes and 5 small. It's really easy to open and close this thing, and you're never spending HQM, only twig, easy to harvest. Beyond your safe bedroom in the basement, we go all the way upstairs to our peaks, to the shooting gallery. Then from the shooting gallery, you have these peak downs, game light style. It's going to cost 8 rockets just to get up to that 3rd floor. And in total, again, it's going to be 24 rockets. Now, keeping that promise of 24 rockets, let's head on over to a much smaller layout. Imagine if you want to keep things really small and still have 8 rockets through your entrance, and you have your roof bunker set up right here. What's really cool about this one is you actually have a peak down inside your base. You can see the triangles right here serve as a little wide gap on the inside. And of course, if you don't like that, you can always just replace it with squares. Look how easy it is to place squares above the ODAWA roof bunker. And even if this gets destroyed in a raid, replacing it is so easy. You don't even have to remove anything above. So this is another option if you want to keep things really small. We're also going to take a look at using wide gaps for this particular footprint. Let's head on over there. Now, if you started this base with a nice little layout at the 1st and 2nd floor, you notice by the 3rd floor, if you're using wide gaps, it's really going to widen things out, and it's going to give you loads of angles for defending your base, both vertically and horizontally. What's really cool about these wide gaps is they're actually connected to the main structure. If you don't know how to do that, check out my recent video on using the ODAWA style wide gap method. Time for the main tutorial. Make sure you have space for this footprint right here. We're looking at 3 square foundations and then 5 triangle foundations on each side, plus honeycomb around most of it except for this side right here. And if you have that, you're ready to start. Let's go. Let's start with 3 square foundations and then 3 triangle foundations. Upgrade this guy for our TC. Stand inside and place a wall frame. Instead of placing a TC on an angle like this, go straight on and as far back as possible. Slap on your door, and you will be ready to go. All right, let's finish the footprint. And we're going to go around like this. And our honeycomb. And in twig, we're just going to place this right here. All right, let's get rid of this, and right here we are going to build in twig, getting rid of these twig as well. Here we go. From this square, we're going to build away from our TC in that direction, 8 squares, so 1 and then 2. That's number 8. We're not going to need it, it's just temporary. Building back with triangles. And at this point, you'll notice all of these can be placed. However, if this was still here, this couldn't be placed. That's why it had to be removed. The last one goes right here. We need to connect this quickly to our main structure to make sure it doesn't decay. Before we do that, I would suggest if you have your 3rd tier workbench, placing it right here on flat ground. And if it's flat enough, the angle should be perfect to place this as well. Most importantly, this wall and this are connecting the 2 different structures. Let's upgrade this, get rid of these triangle twigs, and all of this could just be decayed. All right, let's close up the basement here. It's really important that these triangle pieces here actually go this way and are attached in that direction. It's to avoid splash damage. Game Lights taught us this. Or was it my gaming experience? I can't remember. So for these ceilings, again, look out and come back in. Look out and come back in to get the 0 splash damage. Just like that. If it's a square, it doesn't matter. Now, we could block off this area with a wall, but we're actually going to be placing a ramp to go up to our 3rd floor. But for now, let's just place in some wood, and we can always just hatchet this out later. So this could be wood for now. And we're going to close this up with, let's do shop fronts. For shop fronts, always look to the left to make sure it's placed correctly. Left, and build from the left to the right. For our airlock, we want to make sure that we're using armored doors. This guarantees our 24 rocket promise. So that's 8 rockets to get through. All right, let's take a look at upgrading and setting up all of this right here. We're going to pay attention to what we're upgrading. We are going to upgrade this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy. That's it. And we have 3 triangle foundations and 2 walls. Upgrade these 3 ceilings. And for our wall placement, we're actually going to do sheet metal right here and right here, both facing inwards. For our conditional flap, in a moment, we're going to place our wall frame. But first, let's do down a shelf. Here we are. Now, for this wall frame, make sure that it's rotated so you get the conditional flap. That's extremely important. What's wonderful about the ODAWA bunker is you can actually build the bunker later. So this can actually be placed after the floor has been placed. Kind of a one of a kind for that. And that's it for upgrading to HQM. You can see the total cost is already 148 HQM. Let's build our shelves. And we can do this in stone. You can put your furnaces over here, or you can get rid of this and place your small refinery, like I had in a demo video. Up at the top here, we're going to want to think about separating our basement. So I'm going to use some garage doors snaking along this path. And we're actually going to do half walls in sheet metal. And we're going to do just like this. Right, beautiful. We're going to do a ramp right here. With this ramp, you'll notice that we have a little problem. This flap right here is going to stop us from being able to place more things like this. I'm going to show you how to get rid of that flap. So there's a little trick that you can use a twig version of a triangle roof next to a square roof to get rid of that flap temporarily, allowing us to place our shelf. And we're actually going to position something in here just to block the view of anyone who wants to shoot towards this area coming down the ramp. All right, same thing over here. Before we place this, if we forgot to place anything, for example, maybe we want to put lockers right here. Well, we actually can if that flap is temporarily taken away. So we have a little drop-off area here. Now this is only one version of a layout for this second floor. I have other ideas, which I may show in this video. So if you're worried about storage for this model, take a look at how much we have with this other layout. Not only are the shotgun traps very effective, But this airlock has a third option right here to go up to the roof, as well as another airlock right here. So we have a total of 3 airlocks. Look inside, you have 2 full drop-off rooms, protected by shotgun traps. We have 2 more lockers. If they make it past that, they're going to see your bunker is open, and they might try to fire 1 rocket in there. It's definitely going to close it. If they get any closer, who knows, they might even die. So there's lots of different storage options that you should consider for this base, and be creative, have fun. Let's head up to the 3rd floor right now and hatchet this out and take a look at how we're going to protect this. All right, on our 3rd floor, we discussed a couple different options. We looked at doing peak downs, and we also looked at doing wide gaps. We're going to do a combination right now. We're going to do squares everywhere, except for on these squares. We're going to do a triangle and a square everywhere else. And here's our triangle. Everywhere else, we have space for triangle floor frames. And now it's time for us to build up our wall here. Wherever we have a square, we're actually going to put a window. We have a triangle, put a wall. Okay, so our ceilings and our walls are done. First of all, let's place in some of these guys right here. And next, most importantly, the peak downs. So there we go. We cannot ladder in here, and that's going to be 8 rockets of protection. We're going to go around the entire base and do that. We have 2 different types. We have this side right here, and then this one right here. Instead of doing squares, we're going to do a triangle. All right. To get into our base, we're going to want to have some sort of ramp or jump up. Okay, we're going to continue that around the entire base. Here I go. All right, and here we are with peak downs surrounding the entire shooting gallery. I'm going to now show you guys how to incorporate wide gaps. So instead of these peak downs on the side, we're actually going to remove this. And we're going to place this as 3 triangles here. And our wide gap is going to be built off the bottom. So because we have a triangle here, instead of it being flat, we're actually going to have to offset by an extra triangle, go out 2 squares, and then it could be a triangle or it could be a square. I'm going to upgrade this just temporarily. We'll delete it later. And then we build back with triangles until we have tip to tip. Upgrade, upgrade, get rid of these. And we're going to have our shooting gallery wide gap up here, connected with 3 triangles, causing that wide gap to appear. But we need to connect it to the main structure. We're going to use the, I guess, my system, the ODAWA system for wide gaps. And we're going to just use floor frames like that. And this is actually connected to the main structure. I'll prove it to you guys right now. So we have only a little bit of wood in this base. We go down to the TC and inspect. You guys can see we've got 10 wood. There must be another one hiding somewhere. Let's see, if we get rid of this, it should go down. Yep, it's all gone now. All right, so that's connected to the main base. And for stability, I would do the main center one there first. And just show you guys the sight lines you have from this shooting gallery here. With the wide gap, you have vertical protection. You can even see your front entrance. And you could do that on the other side as well. Now with that, if you guys have your turrets down at the bottom here, if you're doing a wide gap, you might want to move your turrets to the 2nd level right here, which will work just fine. And there you go, wide gaps incorporated, and that's this version of this base. Obviously the boxes can go wherever you want, and there's loads of storage for you and a friend.